Well, moving into our second story of the day, we have updates here on the Chinese spy balloon. Now, if you forgot about this whole thing, people are wondering, well, what's that thing in the sky? What's that huge white object flying across the entire United States? And it was a Chinese spy balloon. And it turns out this Chinese spy balloon that left mainland China, that our intelligence committee, our military watched leave mainland China, fly all the way across the United States, was gathering intelligence in real time. And guess what it was doing with that? Sending it back to China in real time. Yeah, no doubt. You think this thing was just snapping freaking, Polaroids and just saving it for when it flies all the way back around the globe, all the way back to China? But Biden just waited. He waited till he got all the information it needed. So now we actually have updates on what took place here. So the Chinese spy balloon that traversed the entire United States earlier this year gathered and reported intelligence from multiple sensitive American military sites, despite the Pentagon's claims it blocked transmission, according to a new report from NBC News. Shocker. God, we were lied to once again. Who could have thought? The report, which cites 2 current American officials and 1 former administration official, says the balloon was controlled by China, who maneuvered it to make several passes over certain military sites, sometimes in a figure-8 pattern, all while transmitting and gathering data back to China in real time, specifically Beijing. But we were told none of this was really happening. Everything's fine. They probably didn't get that much stuff. John Kirby had it under control. How many press briefings do we see John Kirby talking about this whole thing, or Karine Jean-Pierre dodging everything about it? We also know about multiple other objects that were shot thereafter, shot down and going, well, we just can't get to it. The weather's just too crazy. It's too wintry. It's too cold. The terrain's too bad. Really? The most powerful military in the world, and you're going to tell me that we can't sit there and drop a couple guys down to gather some intelligence that you shot down? The first of which you missed the first shot, and the second one you actually hit. So you spent $1 million on this thing, and you're gonna say, "Well, we can't transverse the terrain. It's too hard." I don't believe anything that comes out of this Biden administration. I'll tell you that much. So the 3 officials say the data obtained by China was primarily electronic signals that could be collected from weapon systems or base communications. Oh, goody! I wonder why China would want that stuff. I wonder why they would want to run surveillance on us and other countries. All the while, you got BRICS taking place with China, India, Saudi Arabia or the Emirates or something like that are all and Russia trying to basically formulate their own currency or work together in trade. There's so much ish that's going on. And one thing I got to propose to all you guys, and let me know in the live chat, and we might do a community tab on this as well for a poll. Do you think the conspiracy of this whole Trump thing going on is to create smoke and kind of draw our attention towards that, all the while there's something major going on somewhere else? You got to find it odd, right? You have inflation going through the roof. You got Russia invading Ukraine. You got China wanting to invade Taiwan. China taking intelligence while flying spy balloons all the way around the United States. China wanting to meet with Ukraine. China wanting to work with Russia. You got the BRICS thing happening. You got our banks failing across the United States. Supposedly the American dollar is going to fall within the next 60 days. So do you think that conspiracy might be right, where there's a huge camel in front of us that we're all focused on, but there's all these gnats, meaning Trump and all these little things happening that we're so focused on, but there's this huge object over here that we should be really focused on, but they're trying to pull our attention away from it? Something's going to happen here, folks. Something major is going on. I think they're trying to throw us for a loop-de-loop. I could be wrong. When the National Security Council was pressed for comment from NBC, who broke this, the news outlet was directed to remarks made in February, couple months ago, by the Department of Defense, where officials claimed that the balloon had limited additive value to the Chinese over and above what China is likely able to collect through things like satellites in low Earth orbit. Okay, so Chinese are going to waste their time flying a balloon all the way across the United States just for something that is additive value. Yeah. Pentagon officials told lawmakers in February that little new intelligence was gathered in Chinese balloon operations because of U.S. measures to protect sensitive intelligence. Yeah, right. Yeah. What? You literally let them fly all the way across the United States and then blew it up after. And you know what the excuse was? Well, we didn't know where it would fall. Folks. The majority of the United States is barren land. There's nothing out there. And you're going to sit there and be like, oh, well, we had to wait. You know, it's so crazy. I really do believe that Joe Biden's in the pocket of the Chinese, and I know a lot of you think that as well. Just with what's going on with the Hunter Biden laptop, what's going with all the money coming from China. You had our oil reserve being sent to a province of China, which supposedly, allegedly, the Biden administration, the Biden family, had ties to and investments in it, which is the same province supposedly that Hunter Biden had investments in as well. Furthermore, you had the Biden family receiving as much as $3 million allegedly from the Chinese as well. Just, I mean, money's appearing left and right. But what's amazing here is there's not a single investigation on any of this stuff. But yet Trump's probably being detained today or indicted, being arrested with mugshots, fingerprints, and all that stuff for giving $130,000 of hush money 7 years ago to some porn star. But everything we know about the Biden administration, the Obama administration, Eric Holder, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton literally paying, what, $800,000 to somebody, basically the exact same thing as Trump did, and no investigations. And then they can't baffle why people are pissed about our justice system and having equal justice spread out amongst everybody, but yet they're targeting Trump ever since he went down the escalator. I mean, how many investigations has this guy had? I mean, they've done nothing but go after him, but nothing's going to happen to the Biden administration here. No investigations on this either, about shooting just random balloons down. The State Department previously acknowledged that the spy balloon had intelligent gathering capabilities. The balloon flew over Montana and the home of a nuclear missile silo field in Air Force Base. It took a flight path that could have allowed it to collect intelligence at several other sensitive military sites. China claimed it was just a civilian airship. I almost said starship. Airship. Yeah, because we're going to believe anything the Chinese says. So now you can't believe your own government. You can't believe a foreign government that's basically our number one enemy. So who the hell do you believe? Hopefully you believe some stuff I'm telling you here on the Bald Brad Show, because I'm not trying to pull you a new one. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.